truths. And they spent a significant amount of energy trying to distract the public into saying that it was Roger and me that was bad for Flint. It was Roger and me that did this to Flint. When just down the street was the world's largest and richest corporation coming up with new ways to throw more people out of work.
So we got Josh Freeman there, and we got Dan Kilby down there. Does this thing have night shot on it?
No. Not that I know.
Gotta be in there somewhere. So to lighten it up. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're here at the Whiting Auditorium at the premiere of Michael Moore's Capitalism. And these are just some shots of the audience and people who have decided to come and see what this is all about. I don't know how much they're going to let me videotape, but hey, stick around. There'll be more after this.
I said, well, Mike, that's impossible. He said, no, he really believes in, in our cause and our little newspaper, which I had also earlier thought was impossible. And we're going to do it at the Whiting Auditorium. That can't happen. That's impossible. But, Mike persevered, he's courageous, and we did it. There we were. Thanks. And he was always showing us all how to do these impossible things. We're going to have a statewide newspaper. Well, it seemed impossible, but he did it. He said, well, we'll get Harry Chapin to do 3 concerts on his birthday. And I said, well, no one's. And he said, I know, but he's a good guy, and I think he'll do it, and it's a good cause. And by God, we had Harry Chapin up here. Does anyone remember this? For 3 concerts on his birthday. How many people were there? It's a great memory. And then he said, we're going to make a movie. We'll make a movie that's a comedy, tragedy, documentary about unemployment. And people are going to want to see it Friday night for a date. It's impossible. But by God, he did it. And then, well, Academy Awards and other impossible things. I could list a lot more, but it's the man that's really taught us all of us working regular people, that we could achieve really amazing stuff. We had faith in ourselves. And Mike has always been, to me, a man of faith. So I'd like to introduce to you guys tonight my best friend and oldest friend, Michael Moore.
That is very generous and more exercise than we usually get here in Flint. So, thank you very much for being here. It's a real honor to see so many people here. We've been traveling around the country with this film. We started over at the Venice Film Festival a few weeks ago, where it had its worldwide premiere, and we won a couple of prizes there, and then came back to this country, and we've been showing it to a few audiences around the U.S., and the response has been profound and overwhelming to a degree that I really haven't seen since Roger and me. 20 years ago tonight, Roger and Me had its U.S. premiere at the New York Film Festival. And to be here tonight with you It's a wonderful way to celebrate that. It's funny because listening to Rod tell that story, and he is one of my oldest friends. One of my other oldest friends from high school was playing the piano, and he wrote all the music in the film, Jeff Gibbs. So.
Damn it.
He grew up in Beecher. Let's hear it for Beecher. Buccaneers. So I'm grateful for old friends that I have. Some of you are sitting here today. And, someone once told me that all of our lives, whoever we are really the sum of all the people we've met and all the experiences we've had along the way. And I've always felt very blessed for having been born over on Kensington Avenue here at St. Joseph Hospital. And growing up in Davison is enough to steal anyone's medal, especially in those years when at the time when you were a kid, you believed it was the world headquarters of the Republican Party. It's a more diverse place now. And then to make the decision as an adult to live in the city of Flint and start a newspaper here, and the other things that we did over that time was really the pregame to what became Roger and Me. And when I made Roger and Me, I really didn't expect a lot of people to see it. I mainly wanted you to see it, people of Flint, because at that time, in the 1980s, I felt like this town was not going to make it, and that General Motors wasn't going to make it. Because I didn't understand, with my high school education, something that seemed like just common sense, that if you keep throwing people out of work, who's going to buy the cars?
Amen. Amen. Some of the jobs overseas.
It really just seemed stupid to me, because and this was a time, if you remember, in the 1980s, with these layoffs, General Motors was making profits of $4 billion a year.
Yep.
So they were making record profits and then throwing people out of work to celebrate those record profits, because they thought, you know what, more people we throw out of work, Wall Street likes that, stock goes up, and bottom line looks good because payroll is your biggest expense. So short-term thinking, that was very smart. Long-term, it killed the company and it killed Flint. And to the power structure here, to some of the local media here, that became blasphemy. And so when Roger and Me came out, that was the worst blasphemy, that someone would dare utter these truths. And they spent a significant amount of energy trying to distract the public into saying that it was Roger and Me that was bad for Flint. It was Roger and Me that did this to Flint. When just down the street was the world's largest and richest corporation coming up with new ways to